If you are spending money on expensive hair serums, thickening shampoos, or scalp treatments to stop your hair from thinning, graying, or falling out, a major May 2026 dermatology report just revealed something that should fundamentally change how you approach this problem. Every dollar you spend on surface treatments is being wasted because the real cause of your hair's decline is not on your scalp at all. It is happening deep inside your gut and your cells, and no topical product on earth reaches it. The discovery centers on a specific biological mechanism that the 2026 research is calling follicular melanocyte burnout. Your hair follicles contain specialized cells called melanocytes, the pigment-producing cells responsible for giving your hair its color. Those melanocytes depend on a specific enzyme called tyrosinase to manufacture melanin, the biological pigment that determines whether your hair is dark, rich, and vibrant, or dull gray and brittle. When tyrosinase activity drops, your hair loses its color. When it drops severely, your hair loses its structural integrity and begins to thin and fall. The 2026 research identified the primary destroyer of tyrosinase activity, and it is not genetics, it is hydrogen peroxide accumulation at the hair root. Your body naturally produces small amounts of hydrogen peroxide as a cellular byproduct. Under normal conditions, your antioxidant defense systems neutralize it before it reaches damaging concentrations. But when those defense systems are overwhelmed, hydrogen peroxide builds up at the follicle level, literally bleaching the melanocytes from within, degrading tyrosinase activity, and progressively stripping your hair of both color and structural protein. The gut connection is where the research becomes profoundly actionable. When your gut is inflamed from processed food, environmental toxins, chronic stress, or dysbiosis, the gut lining loses its integrity. Undigested proteins leak through the compromised barrier into your bloodstream in a process called intestinal permeability, or leaky gut. Your immune system responds to those leaked proteins as foreign invaders and mounts an inflammatory response. That inflammatory cascade triggers a systemic spike in hydrogen peroxide production, a spike that reaches every tissue in your body, including the follicle cells at your hair roots. The pattern becomes self-reinforcing. Gut inflammation drives hydrogen peroxide accumulation. Hydrogen peroxide destroys follicle melanocytes and tyrosinase activity. Hair loses color and thins. And the expensive serums you apply to your scalp cannot reach the gut-driven chemical cascade happening beneath the surface. Traditional Chinese medicine identified this pathway centuries before modern science had the tools to explain it. Black beans have been used in TCM specifically for hair health for generations, and the reason is now biochemically understood. Black beans are exceptionally rich in anthocyanins, the dark pigments that give them their color. Anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants that specifically target hydrogen peroxide accumulation in the kidneys and peripheral tissue, including the follicle environment. They neutralize the bleaching agent at the source rather than covering the damage with surface treatments. But the 2026 research adds a critical dimension that TCM could not have anticipated. Even when anthocyanins provide the antioxidant signal to neutralize hydrogen peroxide, the execution of that neutralization requires cellular energy. Specifically, it requires the mitochondria inside your follicle cells to be functioning at sufficient capacity to run the antioxidant enzyme pathways that convert hydrogen peroxide into harmless water and oxygen. When follicle mitochondria are underpowered, which is extremely common in adults over 40, the hydrogen peroxide cleanup stalls even when antioxidant signals are present. The bleaching continues. The tyrosinase continues declining, and the thinning accelerates despite everything you throw at it from the outside. CoQ10 is structurally essential to this hydrogen peroxide neutralization process. As a fat-soluble antioxidant that operates directly within cellular membranes, CoQ10 participates in the electron transfer reactions that convert reactive oxygen species, including hydrogen peroxide, into harmless compounds. When CoQ10 levels are sufficient inside follicle cell membranes, the hydrogen peroxide cleanup operates continuously and efficiently, protecting tyrosinase activity and the melanocyte population responsible for your hair's color and strength. PQQ activates mitochondrial biogenesis in follicle cells, triggering the growth of new high-efficiency mitochondria that give the follicle the energy infrastructure to maintain continuous antioxidant defense, restart melanin production, and rebuild the structural proteins that keep hair thick and strong. New mitochondria in follicle cells are not carrying the oxidative damage of their predecessors. They are fresh engines capable of powering the complete follicle health cycle that produces vibrant, youthful hair from the root. Mitolyn combines CoQ10 and PQQ in one formula built around this cellular follicle defense principle. Stop fighting the surface with products that cannot reach the source. Give your follicle cells the mitochondrial shield and the energy infrastructure to address the gut-driven hydrogen peroxide cascade from the inside out. I want to be fully transparent with you. The link in my description is an affiliate link. I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only share what I genuinely think is helpful. Stop fighting the surface. Check the link in my description for the 2026 Mitolyn Hair Cell Protocol. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle.